Welcome to Sleep Story. Let the soothing cadence of a story weave through your consciousness, lulling your body to rest and your mind to tranquility as you drift into dreams on the wings of imagination.
But Zhong Fei drew his sword to cut his own throat. Zhuan forward to hold, grabbed the sword and threw it to the ground and said, "The ancient said, brothers like hands and feet, wives like clothes. Clothes broken can still be sewn. Broken hands and feet can be continued. Clothes are torn, can still be sewn. Broken hands and feet can be renewed. Are three people in the peach orchard, do not seek the same life, but would like to die together. Although we have lost our city and our family, can we bear to teach our brothers to die in the middle of the road? Moreover, the city is not ours. Although the family is trapped, Lu Bu will not plot to kill, and can still design to save it. I'm not sure if I can save them. The mistake of the virtuous brother. Why do you want to donate your life so suddenly?" Said and cried. Guan Zhong all feel sobbing. And said Yuan Lu Bu attacked Suzhou, night and day sent to Lu Bu, promising 50,000 ducats of food, 500 horses, 10,000 taels of gold and silver, 1,000 pieces of colored satin, so that the sandwich attacked Liu Bei. He was so happy that he ordered Gao Shen to lead an army of 50,000 men to attack Zhuandi's rear. When Zhuandi heard this letter, he took advantage of the rainy weather to withdraw his troops and abandon Zuyi, thinking to take Guangling in the east. When Gao Shen's army arrived, Zhuandi had already left. When Gao Shen met Jiling, he demanded what he had promised. Ling said, "Please go back to your army, and let me meet with your lord to plan." Gao Shen said goodbye to Jiling, and went back to the army, and met Lu Bu to tell him what Jiling had said. Gao Shen left Jiling and returned to Lu Bu, who told him about Jiling's words. Bu was hesitant, but suddenly a letter from Yuan Shu arrived. He said, "Although Gao Shen has come, Liu Bei has not yet been removed. Let's wait until Liu Bei has been captured, and then we will give him what we have promised." Bu angrily scolded Yuan Shu's breach of trust and wanted to start an army to attack him. Chen Gong said, "No, the art is based in Shaochen and has many soldiers and food, so it is not to be taken lightly. Why don't you ask Zhuandi to return to Xiaopei, so that he can be my wing? In the future, Zhuandi will be the vanguard. Then first take Yuan Shu, and then take Yuan Shao. Can be across the world." Cloth listened to his words. People welcomed Zhuandi back to the book. It is said that Zhuandi led the troops east to take Guangling, with Yuan Shu robbed the fortress, lost half of the troops. Back to meet Lu Bu's envoy, presented a letter. Zhuandi was delighted. Guan Zhong said, "Lu Bu is a man without justice, cannot be trusted." Zhuandi said, "He has treated me with goodwill, why do you doubt it?" So he came to Suzhou. Lu Bu was afraid that Zhuandi would be confused, so he ordered his family to be returned. "Gan, out to ladies to see Zhuandi," said Lu Bu, ordered soldiers to set the door of the house. "Prohibit people may not enter, and often make concubines to send things. There is no shortage." Zhuandi said. Guan Zhong said, "I know Lu Bu will not harm our family." He entered the city to thank Lu Bu. Zhong Fei hated Lu Bu and refused to go with him, so he went to Xiaopei with his sister-in-law first. Zhuandi went to see Lu Bu to thank him. Lu Bu said, "I do not want to take over the city, because your brother Zhong Fei here to kill people with wine. Fear of failure, so come to guard the ear." Zhuandi said, I want to let brother for a long time. Bu pretended to still let Zhuanda. Zhuanda resigned and stayed in Xiaopei. Guan and Zhong were indignant. Zhuanda said, I should wait for the time to come, but I should not fight for my life. Lu Bu sent his men to send grain, rice and satin. Since then, the two families were reconciled. But said Yuan Shu big feast in Shaochen. People reported that Sun Ce to conquer, Lujiang governor Lu Kong, won and returned. Art called Ce2. Ce worship under the hall. Asked the labor has been completed. Then asked to sit down and drink feast. It turns out that Sun Ce, since his father's funeral, retired in Jiangnan, courtesy of the wise. After Dao Qian and Ce maternal uncle Danyang governor, Wu Jing discord, Ce moved his mother and his family to live in Ka, but he cast Yuan Shu. Art is very love, often sighed and said, so that the art of a son such as Sun Lang, death is no longer hate. As a result, he was made a lieutenant of Wei, and led his troops to attack Zulong, the marshal of Jingshan County, and won the victory. Art saw the courage of Ce, and again made the attack on Lu Kong, and now returned victorious. When the banquet was over, Ce returned to the camp. Seeing the art of treating each other very proud, the heart is depressed, is walking the moon in the middle of the court. Thinking of my father, Sun Jian, such a hero, I am now reduced to this. Do not feel like crying. Suddenly saw a man from the outside and entered, laughed and said, Bofu Wei so. Your father in the day, more had used me. Do you now have undecided things? Why not ask me, is to cry. Ce look at, is Danyang old placeholder, surname Ju. The name of George, the word Junli, Sun Ji and old engaged in the official also. George said, why not tell you on road, borrow troops to Jiangdong, under the guise of saving Wu Jing, the real picture of the great cause, but is long trapped under the people. In the middle of the discussion, a man suddenly entered and said, I know what Gong and others are planning. I have 100 strong people under me, temporarily help both for a horsepower. Ce look at his people. Is Yuan Shu strategist? Are you non-fine young people? Surnamed LV, name Fan, the word Ziheng. Ce was delighted. Sit down to discuss. Li Fan said, I'm afraid that Yuan Road will not lend troops. Ce said, I have my late father left the Jade Seal of State as a pledge when, Fan said, highway money to get this for a long time. With this as a hostage, we'll be willing to send troops. 3 people have decided. The next day, Ce went to see Yuan Shu, cried and said, Father's revenge cannot be avenged. Now my maternal uncle Wu Jing and 4 Yangzhou assassin Liu Gao forced. Ce mother and family, all in Ka, will be killed. I dare to borrow thousands of soldiers to cross the river to save my family. I am afraid that Ming will not believe me, but I have a jade seal left by my late father, which I would like to take as a pledge. Art heard that there is a jade seal. Take and look at it. Great joy. Said, I do not want your jade seal, now and right to stay here. I borrow 3,000 soldiers, has 500 with you. After the pacification, you can quickly come back. Your position is humble, difficult to control the power. I will make you the lieutenant of Fenchong and the general of exterminating the bandits, and you will lead the army on the following day. Ce thanked him, so he led his troops and led Juzi, Lu Fan, and his old generals Cheng Piyu, Wang Gai, and Han Dang, etc., and set out on a certain day. When I arrived at Liyang, I saw an army arrive. When the first person, the pasture of the style, beautiful appearance, saw Sun Ce, dismounted and worship. It turns out that Sun Jian, to discuss the Dongzhuo, moved home to Shikeng. You and Sun Ce the same year. Friendship is very close, because of the association of Kunzhong. He was a close friend of Sun Ce's, so they became friends. Ce was 2 months older than you, and you served Ce as his brother. Yu's uncle, Zhou Shong, was the governor of Danyang. He was on his way to visit his relatives and met Ce here. Ce was overjoyed to see you and told him how he felt about him. You said, "I am willing to help you to achieve great things." Ce rejoiced and said, "I got Gongjin. The great thing is harmonic." Then he ordered to meet with Juzi, Lu Fan and so on. You said to Ce, "My brother wants to help great things. Also know that there are 2 Zhong in Zhongdong." Ce said, "What are 2 Zhong?" You said, "One is Peng Cheng Zhong Jiao, the word Zibu. One is Guangling Zhong Vast, the word Zizang. Both have the talent of the sky and the earth, because of the chaos hidden here. My brother, why not hire them? Resent gift to hire, or resign not to." Ce then worshipped Zhong Jiao for the long history, and the army general. Zhong Jiao was appointed as the chief historian and the general of the army. Zhong Vast was appointed as the lieutenant of the army. They discussed the attack on Liu Cao. But it was said that Liu Cao's character Xingli, a native of Muping in Donglai, was also a member of the Han family, the nephew of Liu Shu, a lieutenant, and the younger brother of Liu Dai, an assassin of Yangzhou. He used to be Yangzhou's assassin, but he stayed in Shaochun and came to court because Yuan Shu drove him to Zhongdong. When he heard that Sun Ce's soldiers had arrived, he gathered all the generals together to discuss the matter. General Zhongying said, "I lead an army in Newju, even if there are millions of troops, cannot be close." Words are not finished. A person under the tent shouted, "I would like to be the front vanguard." The crowd look at is the East Lei Huang County people, Tai Shi Ci also. Since Ci had lifted the siege of Beihai, he came to see Liu Cao, who stayed under his tent. Ci was the first to see Liu Cao, and Ci stayed under his tent. On that day, he heard that Sun Ce had arrived, and was willing to be the front vanguard. Carefree said, "You are still young, not for the general, only in my left and right to listen to orders." Tai Shi Ci was not happy and retreated. Zhongying led his troops to Newju, and accumulated 100,000 grain in DJ. Sun Ce led the troops too. Zhongying out to meet. The 2 armies will be on the beach in Niju. Sun Ce out of the horse. Zhongying cursed. One guy will be out and Zhongying war. Not a few rounds. Suddenly Zhongying army chaos. Reported that some people in the fortress set fire. Zhongying quickly returned to the army. Sun Ce led the army to come, take advantage of the situation, to cover up and kill. Zhongying abandoned the cattle islets, looking at the mountains and fled. It turned out that the fire behind the fortress is at 2 strong generals. One is the Zhujiang Shaochun people, surnamed Zhong, the name of the Qin, the word Gongyi. One is the Zhujiang under the Tsai people, surnamed Zhou, the name of the Tai, the word Yongping. The people were troubled by the world, gathered in the Yangtze River, looting for a living. Sun Ce has long been known as the Zhongdong heroes, can recruit Yin Noshi, so specially led his party of more than 300 people, came to join. Ce was delighted, used as a pre-service lieutenant, collected the Newzudij food, military equipment, and surrendered more than 4,000 people. And then into the Shenting. Zhong Ying was defeated and returned to see Liu Cao, who wanted to behead him in anger. He was persuaded by his strategists Taiti Baorong and Zhu Li, who made him to stay in Zuling City to resist the enemy. Carefree led his troops to camp in the south of the Shenting Ridge, and Sun Ce camped in the north of the ridge. Ce asked a scholar, "Is there a Hongguangwu temple near the mountain?" Scholar said, "There is a temple on the ridge." Ce said, "My night dream Guanggu called me to meet, when to pray." Zhong Zhao said, "Not. The south of the ridge is Liu Cao's fortress. If there is an ambush, how?" Ce said, "God bless me. I have nothing to fear." So he hung up and nicked the gun on the horse, leading Cheng Piyu, Wang Gai, Han Dang, Zhong Qin, Zhou Tai, and so on, a total of 13 riders, out of the fortress on the ridge, to the temple burning incense. Dismounted after worship, Ce forward kneeling congratulations said, "If Sun Ce can establish a career in Zhongdong, revival of his father's foundation, that is, will rebuild the temple, 4 times the sacrifice." After wishing, out of the temple on the horse, recalled the general said, "I want to cross the ridge, visit Liu Cao fortress fence." The generals all thought not. Sire did not follow, so we went up to the ridge, looking south at the village forest. Early have ambush road, small army fly report Liu Cao. Cao said, "This must be Sun Ce lure the enemy's plan. Do not chase it, Tai." Shai Ce said enthusiastically, "If we don't catch Sun Ce at this time, what to wait for?" He did not wait for Liu Cao's order, but hung himself on his horse, nicked a gun, and went out of the camp, shouting, "Those who have guts, come with me." The generals did not move, but there is a small general said, "Tai Shi really fierce general also. I can help you." And he shot his horse to go with him. All the generals laughed, but said Sun Ce looked for a long time before returning to the horse. Just walking across the ridge, only to hear the ridge called, "Sun Ce rest." Ce looked back and saw 2 horses flying down the ridge. Ce set his 13 horses in motion. Ce crossed his spear and stood his horse at the bottom of the ridge to wait. Tai Shi shouted, "Is that Sun Ce?" Ce said, "Who are you?" He replied, "I am Tai Shi from Donglei, here to catch Sun Ce." Ce laughed and said, "I am the only one. I am not afraid of you if you both come together, and I am alone. If I am afraid of you, I am not Sun Bo Fu." Ce said, "Even if all of you come, I am not afraid of you." Ce said, "I am not afraid of you even if all of you come." He shot at Sun Ce with his horse and spear. Ce held out his spear to meet him. The 2 horses met and fought for 50 rounds, but no winner. Cheng Piyu and others secretly surprised. Ce saw that Sun Ce's shot was not a little leakage, but feigned defeat, luring Sun Ce to come. However, Ce did not go up the old road to the ridge, but even turned behind the mountain. Ce arrived, shouted, "Walking is not a good man." Ce thought to himself, "This guy has 12 followers, I only 1. Then captured him alive, but also ate the crowd to take away. And then lead a journey to teach this guy did not find a place, so that we can start. And so the battle and go. Sire they're willing to give up, has been rushed to Pinchuan land. Ci duo back to the horse and fought again, and then to 50 rounds. The two force only a drag, both rolled off the horse. The horse did not know where to go. The two abandoned their guns, grabbed and fought, and their robes were torn to shreds. Ci's halberd came to stab Ci, and Ci's helmet covered him. Suddenly, there were shouts from the rear, but it was the arrival of Liu Cao's army, which was about 1,000 strong. As Ci was panicking, Cheng Pu and 12 other horsemen arrived. Only then did Ce and Ci let go. Ci got a horse from the army, took his spear and mounted his horse to come back. Sun Ci's horse was collected by Cheng Pu, and Ce also took his spear and mounted his horse. Liu Cao's army of more than 1,000 soldiers and Cheng Pu's 12 horsemen fought in a mixed battle, winding and killing to the bottom of the Shenting Ridge. Zhou Yu led his army to the place where the shouts were raised. Liu Cao led his army down to the ridge. As dusk approached, the wind and rain stormed, and the two sides closed their armies. The next day, Sun Ce led his army to Liu Ku's camp, and Liu Kuo led his army to meet him. When the two formations were rounded, Sun Ce picked Tai Shi's halberd in front of the formation and made the soldiers shout. If Tai Shi hadn't gone fast, he would have been stabbed to death. Tai Shi. Tai Shi also picked Sun Ce's helmet in front of the formation, also made the soldiers shouted, Sun Ce's head is here. The two armies shouted. This side boasted victory, the other side said strong. Tai Shi came out to fight with Sun Ce. Ce wanted to go out. Cheng Pu said, I don't need you to work hard. I will capture him myself. Cheng Pu out to the front of the formation. Tai Shi said, You are not my enemy. Only teach Sun Ce to come out of the horse. Cheng Pu was furious. Straight spear to take Tai Shi. The two horses met and fought for 30 rounds, and Liu Cao called for gold to close the army. Tai Shi said, I was about to catch the thief. Why did you close the army? Liu Caretaker said, People reported Zhou Yu led the army to attack to take Kua. There are Lu Zhong Song Zi people Chen Wu, word Zi Lai. Receive Zhou Yu in to go. My family foundation has been lost. Cannot stay for a long time. Quickly go to Moling. Will Zhu Li, Wondrous army, rush to meet. Tai Shi followed Liu Cao to retreat. Sun Ce did not catch up and collected his men. Zhong Zhao, the chief historian, said, His army was attacked by Zhou Yu to take Ka. No love of war, tonight it is just to rob the camp. Sun Ce then. That night, the army divided into 5 roads, long drive into the big. Liu Cao's army was greatly defeated. All of them were scattered. Tai Shi could not stand on his own, so he led a dozen of riders to Jing County. Sun Ce got Chen Wu as his assistant, who was 7 feet long, with yellow face and red eyes, and a strange description. He was very respectable, and was appointed as a lieutenant and made him the vanguard to attack Tweza. Wu led a dozen also riders to break into the formation and chopped off more than 50 heads. Zhu Li did not dare to come out. Ce is attacking the city. Suddenly someone reported that Liu Cao will join the Wondrous to take Niuju. Sun Ce was furious and ran to Niuju with his army. Liu Cao and Tateoki Rong came out to meet the enemy. Sun Ce said, I am here. How can you not surrender? Behind the Liu carefree, a man with a gun came out of the horse. Is the General Yumi also? And CE battle is not 3. By CE captured in the past. Turn the horse back to the formation. The General Fan Neng, who had captured Yumi, came to catch up with him. When he saw that he had captured Yumi, Fan Neng, the General of Carefree, came to chase him with his spear. The General Fan Neng, who had captured Yumi, came to catch up with him. When he saw that he had captured Yumi, Fan Neng, the General of Carefree, came to chase him with his spear. The spear had just reached the back of Si's heart when the soldiers on Si's formation shouted, "There is someone behind us." Ce turned back and suddenly saw Fan Neng's horse arrive, so he shouted loudly, sounding like a huge thunder. Fan Neng was so shocked that he rolled over and crashed his horse, and died of a broken head. In a flash, he killed a general and drank a general to death. From then on, people all called Sun Ce Little King. On that day, Yu Cao's army was defeated, and most of his men surrendered to Ce. Ce beheaded more than 10,000 heads. Liu Cao and Bao Rong left Yu Zhong to join Yu Bao. Sun Ce returned to attack Moling, and went to the side of the city trench to tell Zuli to surrender. Sun Ce was hit by a cold arrow from the city, which hit him in the left leg and made him fall down from his horse. All the generals gave him first aid and pulled out the arrow from the camp. And then he was treated with gold sower's medicine. Ce made the army fraudulently claimed that the general was killed by an arrow. The army mourned. He pulled out the fortress and rose up. Zhu Li heard that Sun Ce was dead. Overnight up the city's army and Primus generals Zhongying, Chen Heng killed out of the city to chase them. Suddenly, the ambushed troops rose up in all directions, and Sun Ce was the first to come out of his horse, shouting, "Sun Lang is here." All the troops were shocked, all abandoned their guns and blades, and bowed to the ground. Ce ordered that no one should be killed. Zhongying turned his horse back, and was stabbed to death by Chen Wu. Chen Heng was killed by Zhongqin's arrow. Zhu Li died in the chaos. Ce entered Moling and settled the residents. He moved his troops to Jing County to capture Tai Shi. However, Tai Shi recruited more than 2,000 strong men and his troops, and was about to take revenge with Liu Cao. Sun Ce and Zhou Yu discussed the plan of capturing Tai Shi alive. You ordered the county to be attacked from 3 sides, leaving only the east gate open. 25 miles from the city, an army was ambushed on each of the 3 roads, and when Tai Shi got there, he was so exhausted that he was bound to be captured. It turns out that most of the troops recruited by Tai Shi are mountain people who do not know how to be disciplined. The city of Jing County is not very high. That night, Sun Ce ordered Chen Wu to climb up to the city and set fire to it. Tai Shi saw the fire on the city, mounted his horse, and threw himself to the east gate to go. Behind Sun Ce led the army to rush. Tai Shi was walking. The rear army rushed to 30 miles, but did not rush. After 50 miles, Tai Shi was tired and exhausted, and in the middle of the reeds, shouts suddenly arose. Ce was in a hurry to go. 2 tripping ropes came together, tripped the horse over, captured Tai Shi alive, and threw him into the stronghold. Zizi to Tai Shi, personally out of the camp to drink scattered soldiers, release their bonds, will be their own brocade robes. Please enter the fortress, said. I know that Ziyi real husband also. Liu carefree generation cannot be used as a general, resulting in this defeat. I see the curtsy treats very generous, then asked to surrender. Ce held Ci's hand and said with a smile, when we fought in the Shenting, if you get me, will you still hurt each other? Ce laughed and said, I don't know. Ce laughed, please enter the tent, invited to sit on, set up a banquet. Ce said, Yu Ju newly broken, soldiers centrifugal. I want to go to clean up the rest of the crowd to help Mingong. Do not know can believe it. This is what I want. Now with the convention, tomorrow in the middle of the day, I hope you come back. See, I promised to go. The general said, Tai Shi Ci will not come back. Ci said, Ziyi is a man of faith and righteousness, will not go against me. All of them did not believe. The next day, set up a pole at the camp gate to wait for the sun. In the middle of the day, Tai Shi Ci led more than 1,000 people to the fortress. Sun Ce was overjoyed. Sun Ce was overjoyed. All of them were impressed by his knowledge of people. So Sun Ce gathered tens of thousands of people, went down to Zhongdong, and settled down the people. And the people were countless. All the people of Zhongdong called Sun Ce Sun Lang. But when they heard that Sun Lang's troops were coming, they all lost their courage and left. And Ce army arrived, and not allow a person to capture, chickens and dogs do not scare. The people are happy, a gift of cattle, and wine to the fortress to labor. Ce replied with gold and silk, and there was much rejoicing. Liu Cao's old army. Those who wanted to join the army listened too. Those who did not want to join the army gave rewards to return to the farm. The people of Zhongnan all praised him. The army was very prosperous. Ce was to welcome his mother's uncle and his brothers back to Ka, and made his brother Sun Quan and Zhou Tai to guard Zhuancheng. Ce led the troops south to take Wu County. At that time, there was Yan Baihu, who claimed to be the king of Eastern Wu, based on Wu County, and sent his generals to guard Wuchang and Jiaxing. When Baihu heard that his troops were coming, he ordered his younger brother, Yan Hui, to send troops to Fenghuao. On that day, Baihu heard about the arrival of Cis troops and ordered his brother Yan to go out to meet him at Fenghuao. When someone reported into the center of the army, Ce wanted to go out. Zhong Vast reminded him, the general is the life of the three armies, so it is not easy for him to take a small enemy lightly. I hope that the general will take care of himself. Ce thanked him and said, your words are like gold and stone. But I am afraid that, if I don't take the risk, the generals will not use their lives. Then he sent Han Dang to go out. When Han Dang arrived at the bridge, Zhong Qin and Chen Wu drove their boats from the river bank to kill them. They shot down the troops on the bank with arrows, and then they flew to the bank to kill them. Yan Bai retreated. Han Dang led his army straight to the gate of heaven, and the thieves retreated into the city. Ce divided his troops into land and water and surrounded the city of Wu. He was trapped for 3 days, but no one came out to fight. Ce led his troops to the gate of heaven to announce to them. One of the generals on the city, with his left hand on the beam, pointed his right hand at the city and cursed. Tai Shi immediately took a bow and arrow. Gu army generals said, "Look at me shoot this guy's left hand." Before he said that, the bowstring sounded, and he really shot right through the left hand of the general and nailed it firmly to the parapet. The people on and off the city were all applauding. All the people saved the man and went down to the city. The white tiger was shocked and said, "If there is such a man in his army, he can't be defeated." So they discussed peace. The next day, Yan Hui left the city and came to see Sun Ce. Ce invited into his tent for a drink. When he was drunk, he asked them, "What does your brother want?" "Want to share Zhongdong with General." Ce was furious and said, "How dare a rat equal me?" He ordered to kill Yan Hui. Bai Hu, expecting to be defeated, abandoned the city and left. Ce advanced his troops and pursued him. Wang Gai captured Jiaxing and Tai Shi captured Wucheng, and all the states were pacified. White Tiger ran to Yuhong. In the road to loot, was native Ling Cao led the villagers killed and defeated. Looking at Huiji and Go. Ling Cao's father and son came to pick up Sun Ce, who made him an expeditionary lieutenant, and then led his troops across the river. Yan Bai, who gathered the invaders and distributed them at Shijin Ferry. Cheng Pu fought with them and defeated them, and then rushed to Huiji in the night. Wang Lang, the governor of Huiji, wanted to lead his troops to save Bai Hu. Suddenly, a man came out and said, "No, Sun Ce used the benevolent and righteous troops to rescue Bai Hu. Sun Ce's benevolent and righteous masters. White Tiger is a tyrannical crowd. It is appropriate to capture White Tiger to offer Sun Ce. Lang Ce is the Huiji Yu your people, surnamed Yu. The name of the turn, the word Zhongxiong, is now the county official." When Lang angrily shouted at him, he sighed longingly and went out. The two sides were in a circle, and Sun Ce was in the middle of the battlefield. The two formations against the round, Sun Ce out of the horse, said Wang Lang said, "Arise the troops of benevolence and righteousness to Enjejiong. Why do you help the thief?" Lang scolded, "You are greedy, both the Wu County, but also strong and our boundary. Today, especially with Yan's revenge." Sun Ce was furious and was about to fight when Tai Shi came out. Wang Lang pat horse dance sword, and Ci battle not a few rounds. Lang will be Zhou Din, kill out to help the battle. Sun Ce in the formation of Wang Gai. Flying horse to catch Zhou Din exchange of blows. The two drums sounded loudly, and they fought each other fiercely. Suddenly, Wang Lang's formation was in disarray, and an army came from behind. Wang Lang was shocked and rushed back to meet them. It turned out to be Zhou Yu and Cheng Pu, who led their troops to kill them diagonally, attacking them from the front and the back. Wang Lang was outnumbered, so he and Bai Hu and Zhou Din killed them and walked into the city, pulling up the drawbridge and shutting the city gate firmly. Sun Ce's army took advantage of the situation and arrived at the city. They spread out their troops and attacked the four gates. Wang Lang in the city to see Sun Ce attacked the city very quickly, want to send troops again to fight to the death. Yan Bai Hu said, "Sun Ce's army is very big. You should only deep ditch and high barricade. Do not come out of the wall. No need to January. His army food, natural retreat. At that time to take advantage of the cover." cannot be broken in battle. Lang, according to his suggestion, is solidly defend the city of Weiji and do not come out. Sun Ce attacked the city for several days in a row, but could not succeed, so he discussed with the generals. Sun Jing said, Wang Lang is defending the city. It is difficult to pull out. Will be money, most of the food in the Chengdu. Its land is dozens of miles away from here. Not if the troops first based on its internal, the so-called attack on their unpreparedness, surprises also. Ce rejoiced and said, Uncle Wonderful, enough to break the thieves, carry on. That is ordered in the door, burning fire, false flag, set up as a doubtful troops, overnight withdrawal of the siege to the south. Zhou Yu said, Lord army together, Wang Lang is bound to come out of the city to catch up, can be used in a surprise victory. Ce said, I am ready to go down today, and take the city only tonight, so he ordered the army to start. But said Wang Lang heard Sun Ce's army retreated, led the crowd to the enemy tower to watch. See the city smoke and fire, flags are not mixed, the heart hesitates. Zhou Din said, Sun Ce is gone. Ad hoc this plan to suspect my ears, can send troops to attack. Yan Bai who said, Sun Ce this go, cannot go to check the blasphemy. I make the troops and Zhou general chase, Lang said. Chengdu is my food storage place, just need to be on guard. You lead the troops first, and I will follow to meet them. Bai Hu and Zhou Din led 5,000 soldiers out of the city to catch up. Near the beginning of the night, more than 20 miles from the city, suddenly a drum sounded in the dense forest, torches are bright. White Tiger was alarmed. Then horseback, a general stopped first, the firelight to see, is Sun Ce also. Zhou Din danced his sword to meet him, and was stabbed to death by Ce. The rest of the crowd surrendered. White Tiger killed a bloody road and left for Yuhong. Wang Lang heard that the former army had been defeated, did not dare to enter the city, led his men to flee to the sea corner. Sun Ce returned to his army and took advantage of the situation to take the city and stabilize the people. One day later, a man brought the head of Yan Bai Hu to Sun Ce's army. Ce looked at him and saw that he was 8 feet long, with a square face and a wide mouth. When asked his name, he was from Yuyao, Weiji, surname Dong, name attack, character Yuan Dai. Ce was pleased and was appointed as the secretary of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. Since then, the East Road are all flat. Make Xu Sun Jing guard. Make Juzi for Wu County governor. Collect troops back to Jiangdong. But said Sun Quan and Zhou Tai guard Zhuancheng, suddenly mountain bandits steal hair, kill on all sides. The time is deeper, not as much as the enemy. Tai embraced the right on the horse. Dozens of thieves came to cut with swords. Tai bare body walking, knife to kill the thieves, killed more than 10 people. Then a thief jumped on his horse and stood up his gun to take Zhou Tai, but Tai pulled his gun and dragged him down from his horse, seized his gun and horse, and killed him on a bloody road. Sun Quan was rescued. The rest of the thieves are far away. Zhou Tai body was 12 shots, gold so as hair swelling, life in a moment. See. Under the tent Dong attack said, I once held with the sea pirates. Body suffered a number of shots. To be a wise county magistrate you turned recommended a doctor, half a month and healed. Ce said, you flip is not you Zhongxiong. Attack said, yes, Ce said. This is also a wise man. I should use it. He ordered Jiang Zhao and Dong Raider to go with him to hire you. When you flip arrived, Ce treated him with great courtesy and paid in the title of Gongkao, and he talked about his intention to seek medical treatment. He said, "This man is from Chiao County, Hei State. His surname is Hua. His name is Tu, and his character is Yuan Hua. He's really the god doctor of the world." The word Yuan Hua is also the god doctor of the world. When led to sea, not one day to lead to. Ce saw him, a childish face and crane hair, floating with the appearance of the world. Was treated as the guest of honor. Please see Zhou Tai Soas, to said, "This is easy. Throw the medicine. A month and healed." Ce was delighted and thanked Hua too. He then went into the army to kill the mountain bandits, Jiongnan are flat. Sun Ce allocated his men to guard the various passes, and on the one hand, he wrote a report to the court. On the other hand, he made friends with Cao Cao, and on the other hand, he sent a letter to Yuan Shu to get the Jade Seal. But Yuan Shu secretly had the intention of becoming the emperor, so he replied to the letter and refused to return it. He gathered the chief historian Yong Dozhong, the governors Zhongzheng, Ji Ling and Xiaolei, and the generals Lei Bo and Chen Lan to discuss the matter, and said, "Sun Ce borrowed my army and horses to start a rebellion, and today he has gained all the ground in Jiangdong." He did not think of the root of the problem, but came to ask for the Jade Seal, which is very rude. When to what plan to figure it? The chief historian Yong said, "Sun Ce, according to the Yangtze River's danger, the troops find food wired, cannot figure also. Today, when the first cut Liu Bei, in order to avenge the hatred of the previous day, without reason to attack each other, and then plan to take Sun Ce is not too late. A certain offer a plan, so that the preparation on the same day captured. Precisely, do not go to Jiangdong to figure tigers and leopards, but come to Su County to fight the dragon. I don't know what his plan is. Let's listen to the following explanation.